Once upon a time, in a quiet little village that was surrounded by high mountains and green trees, there lived a young man whose name was Marco. Marco was only 24 years old. But even at this young age, his heart was heavy and his mind was always full of thoughts that never stopped moving. From the moment he woke up in the morning until the moment he closed his eyes at night, different kinds of thoughts came into his mind and then went away. But before leaving, they made him feel tired, uneasy, and restless. He thought too much about the mistakes he made in the past, and he felt sad whenever those memories came into his mind. He also worried all the time about the future, about things that had not yet happened. Because of this, his mind was like a storm that never stopped. He could not feel calm, he could not sleep well at night, and he even forgot how to smile. One day, Marco heard something that gave him a little bit of hope. He heard that far away in the hills, there was another village. In that village lived a wise old man. People said that in the past, this man had been a very famous psychologist in the big city. He had spent many years helping people, teaching them how to calm their minds and how to find peace inside their hearts. Now he was old, and he no longer wanted to live in the noisy and busy city. So, he moved to a small, peaceful village surrounded by nature. Sometimes, when people visited him, he shared his wisdom and gave advice. When Marco heard this story, his heart felt curious and hopeful. He thought to himself, maybe this wise man can help me. Maybe he knows the way to peace. So, Marco decided to make the long journey to meet him. After many days of walking and feeling tired, Marco finally reached the quiet village in the hills. When he entered the village, he saw a small, simple house that was covered with green plants and flowers. On the porch of the house, the old man was sitting very still. His eyes were closed, his face looked calm, and his presence felt peaceful, like the soft wind that moves gently in the evening. Marco walked closer, bowed his head with respect, and said in a soft voice, "Grandfather, my mind is very restless. I cannot stop thinking all the time. I feel no peace inside me. Please, can you help me find peace in my heart?" The old man slowly opened his eyes. His eyes were bright but calm, and he gave a gentle smile. He said, "So, you are searching for peace. Then come with me. I will give you a small task." The old man stood up and took Marco into his little yard. He picked up a glass and filled it with water, filling it all the way to the top. The glass was so full that even the smallest shake could make the water spill. He gave the glass to Marco and said, "Now, walk with this glass from here to the edge of the village and then come back again. But remember, you must not spill even one single drop of water." Marco felt surprised. He did not understand how this small task could bring him peace. But he respected the old man, so he accepted the challenge. He held the glass carefully in his hands and started walking. The road was narrow and full of life. Some people were walking quickly, some were running. Shopkeepers were calling out to customers, and dogs were barking loudly. But Marco did not look at them. His eyes stayed only on the glass of water. Step by step, he walked slowly and carefully. People in the village looked at him with surprise, but they did not disturb him because they understood that he was learning something important. Finally, Marco came back to the old man and said with a smile, "Grandfather, I did it. I did not spill even one drop of water." The old man nodded with a smile and asked, "That is good, but tell me, did you see the children playing at the side of the road? Did you hear the dogs barking?" Marco looked surprised and said, "No, grandfather, I did not see the children, and I did not hear the dogs. I was only focusing on the glass of water." The old man smiled again and said gently, "That is the secret, my child. When your mind stays only in the present moment, then there is no space for fear, no space for confusion, and no space for useless thoughts. When you were holding the glass, your mind became completely quiet, You were not sad about the past. You were not worried about the future. You were only here, in this moment, with the water and the glass. Marco listened carefully, and slowly he began to understand. This was the peace he had been searching for all his life. Peace was not something far away. Peace was not something you can buy or find outside. Peace was already inside him, waiting for him, hidden under his restless thoughts. He bowed his head with respect and said softly, "Grandfather, now I understand. If I want to calm my mind, I must learn to keep my mind in this present moment. That is when real peace comes." The old man smiled again, and the evening sun was setting slowly in the sky. The last golden light touched the ground, and birds were flying back to their nests. Marco began to walk back home. But now he was not the same restless young man. He had changed. He was peaceful inside, because now he knew the simple secret of calming the mind. Dear friends, if you like this story, please give it a like and share it with your friends so they can also learn something good. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel so you can enjoy more inspiring and peaceful stories like this one. Thank you for staying with us until the end. We will meet again in the next story with new thoughts and new lessons. Until then, stay well and stay peaceful.